years ago. Where was this book when we were typing our infamous junior year research papers at 2 o'clock in the morning on the day that they were due? Not that any of us did that. And where was this book at 8 o'clock on the Saturday morning of the SAT? I thought about it, and I realized that I'm glad I didn't have this book. Because had I believed that I had already learned everything I needed to know, I never would have learned that it is possible for an egg to fall from a height of 20 feet onto a cement sidewalk and not break. Thanks, Dr. Snyder. Or, thanks to Mr. McGorvey, that you can write a poem on virtually any topic in the world, including economic demand and supply. Most importantly, had I decided there was nothing else that I needed to know, I never would have earned the title so lovingly given to me by my peers, overachiever. While the term overachiever seems to have a negative connotation in high school, it simply means one who achieves success over and above the standard or expected level. What is wrong with that? Why would any of us want to set our goals below what is standard, or to settle simply for what others think we can achieve? As former U.S. Congressman Bruce Barton said, nothing splendid has ever been achieved, except by those who dared believe that something inside them was superior to circumstance. We all have something inside of us that is superior to circumstance. While we may not all be able to master the concepts of calculus or chemistry, and we cannot all run a marathon or throw a 50-yard pass, every one of us can achieve success. We need to devote ourselves fully to whatever it is that we choose to do. We can dedicate ourselves not only to academics, athletics, or service, but also to family and friends. In the book, Success Secrets of Superachievers, Dr. Michael DeBakey states, real success requires respect for and faithfulness to the highest human values. Honesty, integrity, self-discipline, dignity, compassion, courage, personal responsibility, courtesy, and human service. By maintaining honest lives and striving to achieve more than what others expect of us, we can accomplish our goals, whatever they may be, to become people whom others can respect. I challenge members of the class of 2007 to be overachievers. Overachieve in making your life something of which to be proud. Know where you stand on important issues, and be prepared to defend yourself against those who challenge you. However, never forget to be open-minded. Have fun in all that you do, but do not forget that time is precious, and it should not be wasted. Take your future studies and work seriously. Do what you love, so that you will have no regrets upon which to look back. Finally, refuse to let anyone allow you to feel inferior. You cannot measure your worth against that of anyone else. Success is relative. It is not dependent upon the prestige of your career or the neighborhood in which you live. It is instead the achievement of your goals. We have already succeeded in accomplishing one of our goals. We are graduating. The past 4 years have been full of endings. We have seen the endings of quarters, semesters, sport seasons, and school years. Yet, after a brief summer, they have always begun again. This time, it is really over. This is the end of our high school careers, and, overachieving or not, we have all made it. However, we have not made it on our own. We cannot forget to thank those who have helped us along the way. I would not be standing here today if it were not for my parents, Grandma Deborah Lewis, and the rest of my family, who have always encouraged me not only to reach, but also to exceed my goals. They have never given me the idea that I could not be whoever I wanted to be. There are so many people who have prepared us for this moment. Without our administrators, guidance counselors, and teachers who have devoted their time for the past 4 years to making us educated and experienced young adults, we would not be here today.
Now, Lindsay Lee Miller.
Wow, another turning point. A fork stuck in the road. Time grabs us by the wrist, directing where to go. Well, actually, Dr. Snyder was the one grabbing us by the wrist, and in some cases the throat, not erase our past. It creates an opportunity for the future. With the fork in our road, the choices directly dictate our future. We all may follow different roads, but when our roads cross, we have our past, and that connects us forever. There is one part of the song with which I do not agree. Time does not direct us where to go. We decide our own lives. We may blame time or use it to our advantage, but although time pushes us, we direct our own path. We decide who we are, but our influences have been alike. John Mellencamp wonderfully describes this connection. We were born in a small town, and we live in a small town, probably die in a small town, of these small communities. We, the class of 2007, are a community. We have lived, eaten, learned, and laughed together for 4 years. When brainstorming, I asked myself, what can I use to connect our community at Channing Senior High School to the community of our family and friends? Then, I came upon the answer in a quote from Victor Hugo. Music expresses that which cannot be said, and on which it is impossible to be silent. If anybody has had any experience with the class of 2007, they can tell you that it is impossible for us to be silent. This inspired me to think of our future as a song. To begin with, a song must come from musicians, those who have used their talent to sculpt and tune our lives. Our teachers, parents, families, and friends have created a unique combination of talented memories and productive harmonies that have the potential to fill the world with beautiful sound. Secondly, a song is a combination of many parts. Much like an orchestra has a bass, woodwind, string, and percussion section, our community, with the class of 2007, has different parts. We have our go-getters, our leads that carry our melody through the song. These are our leaders, our student capital, our athletes, our performers. Our leaders cannot carry the song themselves, though. Our support comes from our service organizations, our FBLA, our Key Club, our Leo Club, and our fans. We continually had great attendance to every performance, be it athletic or artistic. This support helps to carry the tune. In any great song, a repeated chorus stays with us forever. This chorus for our community consists of memories. To quote our class song, I'll never forget the places we've been, you and I. Our memories and togetherness will repeat in our minds and stay in our lives forever. Just like the catchy phrases you can never seem to get out of your head. Finally, we must define the tempo of our song. This tempo is never ending. We must always persevere to keep our rhythm going and to keep creating new music in our lives. As Tom Petty so articulately put it, we've got to keep moving on. Keep moving on. And that's what we're doing today. We're moving on to continue our education, to go into the workforce, to start families, to go into the armed forces, but most importantly, we are moving on to live our lives. And you can tell everybody that this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is, now here in the world. As Sir Elton John so eloquently expressed it, we are going into the world. I'm sure we will make life wonderful for those around us. I would like to leave this class of 2007 with some words of advice from actual musicians. Dream until your dreams come true. Eric. I am invincible as long as I'm alive. John Mayer. Choose to chance the rapids and dare to dance the tide. Clark. Finally, this last piece of advice comes from Jimmy World, a personal favorite of mine. This quote encompasses every point I wish to imprint upon you. Do your best, do everything you can, and don't you worry what their bitter hearts are going to say. Thank you.
Well, thank you and good evening, faculty, parents, and other family members. We did it, huh? That's it. This is it for us. I, like many of you, look at this time as one of celebration and accomplishment, but also as a time of a lot of sentiment, fond memories shared. Now, our class of 2007 has grown very close with one another over these years. Sometimes it's even actually a little scary how close we are with one another. We've become unified, mostly good, sometimes not so good, but in the end it produced an endless amount of memorable experiences. Like the recent Cedar Point trip, which was our senior trip. We had all the way down there, we went up with the bus, and as soon as we arrived there, we stepped out of the bus, and it started pouring. If I mean pour, I mean monsoon. I thought I was in the African jungle. So, I mean, we were faced with adversity, and, we just huddled in this small shack as the rain poured on us for a good 2, 3, 4 hours. And I looked over, and everyone was just miserable. And, you know what, we got through that experience, and after that, the lines cleared out, and we all had a blast together. And that just shows about our trip. Another thing is the fan support of the football and hockey games. These fans out here are unbelievable. They'll go 2 hours to watch a game to support their team. These kind of people, that's what they do. That's who we are. Even the recent senior skip day. Sorry, Ms. Rummel. I know Ms. Rummel wasn't too happy with us, but the entire class skipped as one. I mean, I think 10 kids showed up to school, and that really shows the dedication we have. Now, as we start the next step of our lives, many of us will be leaving our precious small town and getting into a bigger sandbox, as Greg McKelvey always says to me, my father. We'll be meeting new people and experiencing new surroundings, and also challenges. But before one figures out what they aspire to become, they cannot forget where they came from. And as we look out across the river and the rolling hills of Armstrong County, some of my fondest memories lie within this school, this field, this town, and these people you see in front of me. We should all be proud of our high school, our parents, and our faculty. We've received a strong foundation, academically and in terms of personal responsibility. I'm sure a lot of you would like to go on to accomplish great things. People from Buchanan have become speakers of the House, highly successful business executives, and highly regarded physicians. There's absolutely no reason that you can achieve the same success as these people. Self-motivation lies within every one of us. Although senioritis hit us like a punch in the face this year, it does lie within us, and it's just a matter of finding your passion. But regardless of perceived success financially or academically, I hope you all do as Teddy Roosevelt said to his Rough Riders as they prepared to ride upon the San Juan Hill. Do what you can with what you have, wherever you are at. My point is, whatever you become in life, a Fortune 500 CEO, a teacher, a parent, or a custodian, make the most of your abilities you were given. Strive to be a good person. Don't ever forget to give back to your community. And most importantly, be happy in anything you do. I found that helps.
By the authority vested in me by the State Department of Education and the Armstrong Board of School Directors, I do hereby certify that these members of the class of 2007 have fulfilled all state and local requirements entitling them to a high school diploma. The Buchanan Senior High School class of 2007 is now graduated.
me this evening to join my fellow classmates and I on this joyous yet sad occasion. I speak for all of us when I express my appreciation to all of you over the years, the faculty of West Shamokin, our school board members, and our parents. You have helped us achieve the goals we had throughout high school, and without you, we would not be on this stage today. I would like to especially thank my parents. They have been there every step of the way and have helped me a lot with this speech. For my birthday this year, I received a card from my parents saying, "Daughter, 10 things to keep in mind to make your life a little better." With you tonight, I would like to share some of the advice they gave in hopes that you can use it in your journey through life. First, trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. You may be having fun at the moment, but the consequences could be severe. For instance, you think you're going in the wrong direction, but you're not entirely sure. So you keep going and end up on the wrong road. How do you know? Your instincts told you. It wasn't on the map that was specially made for you, you know, the one laying on your kitchen table. So you turn around and head a different direction. But yet again, you were going the wrong direction and end up in the small town of Echo. Again, you turn around and somehow end up in Echo for the second time. Once you've been there twice and you know that the house you're trying to reach is nowhere near Echo, you would think to stop and ask directions, right? No. And yet again, you turn around and again, you end up in Echo for the third time in 2 hours. This may seem a little far-fetched, but no. This was Julie and Shayna's first trip to my house. They turned a half-hour, 20-mile trip into 2 hours and 100 miles. So if your instincts are warning you, then don't do it. Second, never let your possessions own you. It is just stuff. In 5 years, you'll have either thrown it away or have forgotten about it. The most valuable things in life are the things you can't buy at a store or on eBay. Friends, respect, love, and knowledge. These are all the things that will last forever and won't cost you a penny. Just ask Dan. He spent most of our class trip to Hershey in the arcade and spent all of his money there. He won some pretty cool prizes, and among them was a coffee maker that made a single cup at a time. The bad thing was, he left it on the bus when we got back to the school. Of course he was upset, we all would be. But just ask him how much fun he had in the arcade that day, and he'll forget about the coffee maker. Believe in yourself. You're the only person in the world who can truly hold you back in life. Think about it. Your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. Only you can prevent them from being achieved. If you think you're going to fail, you probably will. If you say to yourself, today will be a good day, I'm going to do everything the best I can, you will achieve your goals. Don't think about the underclassman that is competing for the same spot on varsity that you are. If you worry about how he or she got the position ahead of you, instead of what you should be doing to get it, you're probably going to be sitting the bench. Only you can control what happens in your life, but you have to believe in yourself. Be grateful. There's always someone less fortunate than you. Here we are, thinking about how much we can't wait to get out of high school, how excited we are for the beach, or how nervous we are for college. Yet, there are children in the world who walk miles to get to school. Some have never even seen a book. They can only dream of the life that we have. Being teenagers, some of us are pretty lucky to have a car, so we don't have to walk to school each day. But it seems almost every day someone has a new complaint. I know I do. Most of you know what my truck looks like. It's teal and has a huge dent that I didn't even do. Polly only has one hubcap. Nick's is a major gas guzzler, and Aaron's wheel fell off. Though they have flaws, they still get us from place to place. Imagine what you do without a car. This one comes straight from the card, no changes made. The golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. The point is, just because you may be smarter, or richer, or prettier than someone else, doesn't mean you're better. It just means you've been more blessed. This isn't on the card at all, but my dad always tells me this. Go about each day with grace and dignity. People will make you mad, but that's just life. Why waste time getting upset over the little things when there's a bigger plan for you? I think Franklin Roosevelt said it best. When you come to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. No matter where life's path leads, remember this: you will always be loved. When the world turns its back on you, you can always come home. Return to those who love you most, and they will help you through. And finally, nurture your friendships. Friends are life's treasures. Over the past 13 years, we have been through a lot together. We've had to say goodbye to close friends, but welcome new ones into our lives. We experienced heartbreaks and the loss of loved ones. There were moments when we didn't know if we could trust anyone, and moments when we poured our hearts out to everyone. There were moments of laughter and joy, tears and sadness. We've created bonds that nothing will break. Now we sit here, spending our last moments together as the class of 2007. A few of us will never look back. Some of us will try to remember forever. We'll look back on all these memories with a smile in our heart and a tear in our eye. Everything must come to an end, and this is the end of our high school days. But with this end comes a new beginning. A beginning of a new school, a new job, new friends, a new life. We will all be going in different directions, but we will always have one thing in common. We are West Shamokin's class of 2007. Thank you.
All right, first of all, I'd like to thank some people. First off, I'd like to thank God. Just like Jake said, I wouldn't be where I am today without him. I'd like to thank my parents. They've been hard on me, but I'm grateful today. I know that I am who I am because of their raising me right. I would like to thank school board members and the work that they do, administration, principals, faculty and staff, all of us. Although we may give you hard times at times, we do appreciate the work you do. I'd like to thank my friends, class of 2007. It's been a fun year. And thanks everybody. So, who were we? Who are we? Who will we become? These are three questions that when we think of them, they can make us smile, laugh, or feel sad. So who were we? We were 5 years old and off to our first day of kindergarten. Our parents saw to it that we had everything we needed and then some. For many of us, pictures were taken, and probably more pictures were taken than were necessary. Some of us were excited to go, and some of us did not want to go and cried for most of the day. It was the start of friendships that are today stronger than ever. It was during this time that our parents taught us the morals that have shaped who we are today. We proceeded through elementary school, enjoying recess, kickball in particular, losing recess at times for that matter, and trading lunches. I would think that to this day, if you were to look on the roof of Shannock Valley Elementary School, you would see about 50 kickballs that were kicked over our class of 2007. It was here we learned how to work together with one another and share. Academically, we were taught arithmetic, reading, and spelling. Then, we proceeded to junior high school. Many of us were nervous and excited at the same time. The first day at West Shamokin High School, I do not believe any of us could find the room that we were assigned to be in. Once again, we made new friendships with a combination of Dayton Elementary and Shannock Valley Elementary. It was then we learned basic algebra, the sciences, and cultures of the world. It was here that we started to cause trouble as well. I don't know what it was about Mrs. Phil's third period English class in junior high, but we were extremely skilled at and even enjoyed causing trouble. And Catherine was without a doubt the ringleader of the class. She was mad. Throwing bouncy balls off the wall when Mr. Phil's back was turned. And then there was another time when all the books on all the desks fell off at the exact same time. I don't know how that happened. It was during this time as well that we were taught, or we became involved in athletics and clubs and took up many of the hobbies that we enjoy to this day. Finally, we moved on to senior high school and began to mature into young adults. It was here we were taught geometry, trigonometry, calculus, chemistry, and yet more cultures. We participated in sports. We learned together the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Some of us won section championships, like our girls volleyball team and our boys golf team put a section banner on the wall this season as well. Some of us earned spots in the WPIL playoffs through hours of hard work and determination in the off-season, like our varsity boys basketball team and varsity girls softball team. However, all of us learned that nothing worth having comes easily. We learned the value of service to community and the value of helping people in need through blood drives, Leo Club, Student Council, and Special Olympics. We were pushed to be the best that we were capable of becoming by both teachers and coaches. At the time, many of us were not in agreement with these teachers and coaches, but now we stand here today and know that we are better people because of their consistent push for us to be the best that we can be.
I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit nervous here. My heart's beating so fast. It's probably not healthy. Other students stood at this podium at graduation and given me speeches about one thing or another. But my speech is about how I got here. Now, I may not be the brightest bulb in the chandelier, but I made it here for 3 reasons. Hard work, perseverance, and respect. You know how teachers would always say, if you don't understand something, ask questions. Well, they're probably sorry they said this to me because I asked a lot of questions. And even after asking all those questions, sometimes I still wouldn't understand what was going on, but I kept trying until I did. And I found that hard work and persistent efforts do pay off. I mean, I wouldn't have the honor to stand here and talk to you tonight if it wasn't for hard work. I probably wouldn't have been able to go to college. We're not rich. I can get a lot of financial aid because of my grades. And I just found that hard work is a good thing, but procrastination is not a good thing. Believe me, I know. Sometimes I'd wait until the night before an assignment was due to do it. Sometimes until the period before it was due. Sometimes I was still writing as the teacher was coming down the aisle like homework. I remember one time my English teacher, Mrs. Zunick, she gave us a big long essay, a 5-page essay. And, it was our final grade. And I kept saying, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll do it tomorrow. And the night comes, before the assignment's due, and 3 o'clock rolls, or 3 o'clock in the morning rolls around, and I'm finally done with my assignment. I get up the next day, and I'm dragging my butt to school all day. And I learned that procrastination, you can get away with it for a couple times, but if you keep doing it, it's going to get to the point where you just can't handle it. But looking back at our time here at West Shamokin, it may be hard to appreciate the value of what we've learned here. And some of our assignments may have seemed like a useless waste of time. Some of those assignments probably were a useless waste of time. But giving it your best shot is never a waste of time.